welcome and welcome back. Today we are going from this to this. And I'm trying out some new products. We have the Ere Perez Lychee. I say lychee, but it's probably lychee cream corrector, RMS Lip Lights, and the Kosas DreamBeam sunscreen, and a few other things that I've learned I wanted to share with you. So buckle up, let's get ready. Oh, buddy. It's the weekend. How are you doing? RMS Re-Evolve Foundation. I like it. I do. I like it. But it does look very much so like makeup on my skin. I like a skin looks like skin look. So what I have learned is I put a dot of this on my hand, and then I take any face oil, doesn't have to be expensive, put a drop, mix it together. And this just does something with the finish that I really like. It also prevents that sort of, I don't know, you know when foundation, you look like you're wearing foundation. It's not a bad thing, just not my favorite. This is the Jenny Patinkin sponge. It just sort of shears it out a little bit. I don't know. I tend to not put a lot on my forehead or else it sort of starts to settle into lines as well. Love a good residual sponge action. So I just take whatever's left on and I just put a little bit more wherever I need more evening out. And this way it just doesn't look heavy. And you get more use out of the product. When I don't use the oil and I use a sponge with this foundation, it looks a little too opaque. If you want that, I'm telling you, so you can use it that way. There's a full review for this and links to everything that I use will be below. You know, I just realized I put that on before the Kosas sunscreen. Normally I would do sunscreen first. This should be a base. Okay, I'm just gonna say it should be a base. I put very little foundation on. I think another reason why I would put it on top is reapplication. It's not like I would never do this, but I should have put it on first, sorry y'all. Full scorecards are gonna come for these. In-depth 30-day, 2-week, whatever the case may be tests. This I'm just gonna kind of pop on. Whoa, this is going on nicely. I do like to put more of this on. You cannot do the whole, I mean, you can. I'm not gonna tell you you can't do it, but if you're applying sunscreen, you're not gonna be using a pea size. You need to use a little bit more for the appropriate amount of protection. Bring it down your neck, probably need a little bit more. First impressions, really nice. I would like to see how this works with a brush. So I'm gonna use the Thicklo brush for the forehead. Got to protect the forehead. Got to. Nice with the brush. If I do this movement, it's not going to apply as much. If you want more coverage, you just kind of press it in. This is one of those like universal tints. It looks like it's made for lighter skin tones when I first look at it, but maybe it can be universally applied. Again, this is the first impression, so I don't wait to show you things. The more in-depth stuff is coming. Anybody who's been following my Instagram account, by the way, I feel like I have a lot more energy this morning. I've been reading the book Breath by James Nestor. Every creator says this, but I really am obsessed with it. Like, I can't stop talking about it. Highly recommend. I love the historical references that you learn. I'm now doing a breathing technique. I'm not seeing skin results yet, but the overall body benefits of breath. And then he goes into evolution and the biology and how really our palates are contracting because of agriculture. And it's actually really fascinating. I really think it should be required reading for all humans, but it's also really fun. I read it in 2 weeks. Never do that. The Lychee Cream Corrector. We'll say lychee. I like to say lychee, but we'll say lychee. I think that's the correct way, the correct pronunciation. I'm a huge fan of Ere Perez. If you subscribe, you know. I have shade Dose. All right. First impression, silky but creamy, not heavy. This is literally what goes on in my brain as I I mean, amongst, you know, I have like random songs stuck in there too, but whatever. You don't need to know that. And then I always like to drag this out. I try with fingers first, it's the easiest, but I like to see if it's gonna be a multitasker, just kind of muting the redness. I did not need as much as I just applied. A little bit is going a very long way here, if you can tell. Wow. And I remember in a previous video, I was talking about drinking more, like swapping in more water, because it's supposed to help with skin. It absolutely helps with my forehead fine lines. When I don't drink water, they're way more pronounced. I've seen that. That's just a me experiment. I was also like, oh, that'll get rid of dark circles. And then the more I read about it, there's a lot of information and probably misinformation. That has a lot to do with allergies. And being landlocked now, my allergies have been significantly worse. So while the water helped other ways, I just thought I'd close the loop there and let you know it did not get rid of dark circles. Doesn't mean you shouldn't hydrate. Really like this. Hi there. I'm gonna do the other eye and come back to see if I need to set it, but before I do, so many reviews out there are really fast, very first impression oriented. They're not gonna talk to you about the types of finish, how the finish wears throughout the day, ingredients and stuff like that. I think there is room for both. Sometimes you just wanna see a demo and hear an opinion. But when I say scorecard, for those of you who don't know, I test these things for a minimum 2 weeks. Wear test, what other products work well, what products don't work well, best way to apply. And then I'm not being paid to say anything and give a review, so unless it's noted, which I rarely do that. So you're getting my honest opinion every time. If you like that, hit the like button. It makes a huge difference over here. Okay, now I'm gonna apply this on this eye and we're gonna see if this one ends up creasing. What do you think? Pretty decent evening out, no? And it's moisturizing. Now, am I seeing creasing? Yes. Do I usually see creasing? Yes. I also put on a little more than I thought. You know, when you're first getting started, you're learning about the product. You could use a sponge, it's gonna lift more of it off. I think you waste product that way, so just put a smaller amount on your finger and press. Especially mature skin, I feel like lends itself better to that. I will try this with different techniques, brushes and stuff. I'm going to set it, see how it does well with powder. I'm using the Ilia powder. I've been using the Ilia powder and this little doodad works so well. Sometimes I just use my finger, and I have heard many people be like, never put powder under mature eyes. I am mature. I mean, age-wise, biologically speaking. I've never had a problem with it. So it really just depends on your face. What works for your face. Let me know in the comments below if you have any tricks that you would like to share, because everybody's different. We just go into the corner. If I really have something that's creasing a lot throughout the day, what I will do is just go in with the finger and apply, but I make sure there's not a lot of powder. And I press, and I press, and I press. This will definitely keep it at bay. And I'm telling you, it doesn't make my face look dry or whatever, so I don't know, just kind of works. That's something too, also on the face. Okay, this is something I want to say as well. If I didn't have foundation on and I was just using this, I've been doing this a lot lately, I'll probably do a YouTube shorts or something for it. I would use this and then press in one of my favorite loose powder foundations, maybe a Lily Low, it depends. I love that for summer. It's a great combo. So more details on that will be coming soon with a demo in natural light. Just wanted to throw that little puppy in there. Maybe you just want to like eliminate the shine on the nose, and then you sing. We do have RMS Eyelights, but now we're just gonna do eyes really quickly. This is an everyday look, which you see me do here all the time. I have been watching a lot of recipe videos, very into the recipe foodie videos, and makeup videos on the socials. This is the Ilia powder bronzer. High pigment, really good payoff. Drawn in shade is way less orange than Novelty, although I like both. But anyway, I've been watching all these recipe videos and makeup videos, and I do that now and then because I always learn something from the brilliant makeup artists. And have you ever noticed they're very like, do this. They're very subtle in application, but precise in application. They have a method. I just love watching it, and sometimes it's very soothing. But I used to always watch my mom get ready. My grandmother would come and visit when we were living in Chicago, and she had all of these little containers and pots. She always put a little bit of makeup on. My mom's the same way. They always put a little bit of makeup on. Always like to be put together, those two women in my life. I would sit there and just watch, and I loved it. It's not surprising at all that I'm doing this as an adult. I just love it. You'd think I have a really solid tip to give you after this. The eyeliner situation I've changed a bit. You can get into the ruts, you know? We do every day, we don't want to think about it, but I like watching those videos because then you go, huh, I never thought about that. Not always. Some of them are insanely unrelatable to me. This is the Elate cream color. Really still enjoying it. And before I was applying to brush first, now I've just gotten lazier. Throw it on, girl. This neutral wash, like the Ilia, but better to me. Plus it's more sustainably and consciously created. They're thinking about the earth, you know? Earth Day, hi. Then I just blend this sucker out. You can play with it, you can add more, but the reason I like it is because look, I think that's under 60 seconds, really, if you're trying to move fast. I have a lot of new stuff, by the way, so if you would like to see more first impression get ready with me's, I haven't done a lot of longer form content, let me know. Ami Collet. I was gonna do the Tower 28, I also like that too, but it flaked on me. This one, still holding up pretty well. I might do an update. Mascaras changed so much within the first month. Milk Makeup also sent me their mascara, their new mascara. I purchased this. I was under no obligation. I was under no obligation to feature anything in this video. Let's just reiterate that. I'm still loving this stuff. Is making my lashes happy. And I can now easily say, I mean, look at that length. And I can just build up the volume. It's crazy good. I reach for this more than Ilia. What? 99% of the time I forget to use a lash curler. It absolutely makes a difference, but this is just doing so well on its own. It's like, I don't miss it. It is giving me the Bite mascara vibes as well. You all know I loved that one, or if you don't know and you're new, I loved that one and it went out of business, that brand. So it's thicker, it's more voluminous. It gives those vibes. It's not the same. It gives the first Fit Glow Vegan Good Lash. I loved that one. The new one I don't like. Giving that kind of a volume, but with really good light. I'm gonna let that dry for a second and then I'm gonna show you what I learned about eyeliner, but let's try these RMS Lip Lights. I keep reaching out to RMS and they don't respond to me. I don't know why, and it's okay. Can't be sensitive in the content creator game. Let's manifest it. Let's manifest RMS because I've been a fan for a long time. I would love to get in on their new launches. This, however, I purchased. It's not inexpensive. What do you think? It feels nice. Feels nice. If you know me, then you probably know how to gauge my reactions at this point. I also have a terrible poker face. Professionally, card games, this, horrible. Can't hide it. This is nice. This is sort of like I had a lot of Zinfandel. I just say that because I was in California and somebody offered a really good bottle of red wine. I don't drink a lot of wine. Anyway, tangent. That's what this looks like. It feels amazing. Actually, the texture feels amazing. There's a subtle vanilla scent. As you can tell, it barely builds. A little bit of a gloss. Feels velvety, somewhat like the Ilia balms. This would be a way more eco-friendly option, but this is not providing that amount of payoff, which you might not want because you're looking for a more natural, subtle pigment. I don't dislike it, but I'm not in love with it yet. Hence the first impression. This is the Milk eyeliner in it's black. It's their Infinity long wearing eyeliner. Is it long wearing? Is it worth it? I'll let you know. They sent this to me. But what I've been doing is I apply after mascara. Just normally this is a two-hander, but for you, only for you, I'll do it this way. I do a baby wing, a baby wing. It's a baby wing. She did a baby wing. I just like the eye pull out thing. Words. I think this is also a really fun way to do a fun, colorful kind of flick right at the end of the eye. If you're going out, you could do a purple, you could do a beautiful green, you could do a really strong pigment and just add water to the shadow and do just a tiny subtle like, hey, what's going on with your, I love your eyeliner. That kind of a thing is fun. It's fun. Makeup should be fun. That's it. Hello, Dewey. So let's check the creases. It's creasing. This is why concealer is one of the ones that I take a long time reviewing. It's all in that application. I did have Kosas on as well, and that was pretty dewy, so that might have something to do with it. Let's not judge it just yet. I really like it. A large part of me likes it. I just applied a little bit more powder with the finger instead of this little doodah because I want to see if that's going to keep it at bay. This is my only the lip. It's my only Which one do you want to see a full review of? That's what I really want to know. Which one do you want to see a full review of? On here. You're going to get scorecards back on the site. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know which out of the newbies that I tried today are you thinking they might be a potential favorite for you. Maybe for me. You can read my mind if you can. Good job. Speaking of favorites, they change all the time. I was actually gonna make this a Britt's Picks roundup. It's still, I'm thinking next week is when it's gonna happen. Thank you for your patience. You can check out favorites of the past and relatively recent by looking at the favorites playlist. I will see you right back here real soon. Thanks for spending your weekend with me. I can't wait to share the scorecards for all these goodies. Bye. I thought I'd come over into the natural light. Hi, it's a little bright. Window. Nothing fancy, but I just wanted you to see this. It's nice. It's a nice glow. Dewiness. Kind of reading, kind of not. Back to testing.